See, things have come to head, time out for scare you, scary route today. And follow us down Courage Lane, they cages in, break down the gates. We want all the smoke, like we chiefin' on a pound a day, but not talking intoxicate and rage, not this is far more tragic than what's comprehended. This has got to stop. I don't understand everything as a man. I'm authorized by God to make this petition. Believe it, especially when you hate and aim to kill a man.
Zach, welcome back to TOTB Thinking Outside the Box podcast. Has made it another week, man. For some reason, man, they keep rocking with us, and it's all because of y'all, man. Thank you for tuning in to another fire episode, man. The thinkers are back in the building for another hot topic in these streets. Be sure you tune in, man. Check us out on YouTube, TOTB_show, right? Check us out Facebook, Instagram, man, at TOTB the dopest. Ryan's gonna give all the information for you guys to follow us. Check us out, man. Want to give a big shout out to all the sponsors, everybody that checked us out and like, comment, share, subscribe on the shows. All right. We had another topic for you guys today, but be sure, please follow, like, subscribe, check out the shows, man. We're doing a lot of dope things, got a lot of dope events coming up as well. All right. So let's get into it. Let's introduce the thinkers to the platform. You guys already know who they are. Directly to the right of me, we got Holy Grind himself, man. Say what's up to him. Where can they find you, bro?
Blessings, great people, man. You can find me at Holy Grind on Instagram and always at TOTB the dopest on Facebook.
You know it. That's a little thing. Okay, cool. And to his right, we got the Moolah man himself, man, Mr. Controversial, man. Say what's up to him. Where can they find you, bro?
What's up, people? You can find me at Moolah Monster Collections on Instagram, moolahmonster.com.
You know what it is. And to his right, Philosopher. Say what's up to the people. Where can they find you, bro?
Salute. You can find me on IG, Black_Scholar.
There it is. And of course, Reggie moving forward, you can find me at the NASSOCIETY or Reggie moving forward on Facebook. And we are
Thinking Outside the Box.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have so much to talk about, man. You follow us. If this is your first time following the show, welcome. This is going to be a show that I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to feel us, but it's going to always some people that don't feel us. But I guarantee after what you hear today, you have a different insight from the thinkers and from the viewers as well. Be sure you comment on whatever we're talking about today. Give your input. We don't shy away from it, right? So let's get into it, y'all. I mean, Grind explains how, he got a way of saying things, man. So tell the people what we're talking about and just tell them how important it is what we're talking about.
Man, today is kind of today's topic. It's what you would say an abrupt topic. Mm-hmm. We don't try to be controversial. We just talk, discuss things that's going on, things that's dealing with our people. And it's been kind of rough, man. This past month, we've been doing a lot of watching, whether it's been social media, TV, the news. And we just want y'all to know out of everything that's going around, all the things that you see that's happening amongst us as a people, we want y'all to realize that there are still some real men out here. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
There's
sir,
still some real men out here. And I say that in that way, in that matter. You might say like he got an attitude or something. It just upset. It's disgusting, some of the things that you see out here. Now, one of the things that really sparked this, it's a lot, and we're going to get into a lot today. You know what I'm saying? But one of the things that really sparked this was, it was a thing that came on social media with this young lady. She was filming and recording another young lady doing a crate challenge. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which is stupid if you ask me, but that's just my opinion.
Hood Olympics.
She was doing a crate challenge, and this was in Texas. Mm-hmm. And what happened was, as she was recording her, it was a group of guys that was around her, young men that was around her, and they were doing the same thing. They were recording, and the lady in her travels up this crate stack, she fell and busted the back of her head wide open. And all these guys around her, these young men, they were laughing and still video record. No one tried to catch her or anything. And even after she was laying there and began to bleed from the back of her head, they was watching, recording, and you can hear them laughing. And it was disgusting, man, because also on YouTube, not YouTube, I seen it on Facebook, I think. It was another one where we here in Chicago. And in Chicago, it was a CPD officer, a lady. I believe she was a white lady. And she was climbing, doing the crate challenge. Now there was a black guy. When she fell, he dabbed in and caught her. Now I'm not one of those to say he did nothing wrong, because I don't discriminate.
Right.
That's what a man should do. But here you got a sister doing it, and they laugh at her own. Man, we want y'all to know it's still some real men out here. Man, that was disgraceful. That was distasteful. It was ignorant. It was so degrading to us as a people, man. And even the young lady that was filming, she filming with a phone. And she's saying, somebody call 911.
Right. The whole time she got a phone.
All the time she got a phone in her hand. But she busy recording the lady in her pool of blood.
Right.
You know, look like she. Now in the comments, later on they took it down. In the comments, somebody said she didn't die. But later on in the comments, somebody said she died at the hospital.
Oh man.
I still don't know, but what I do know that she fell and busted her head.
You know what you saw.
I know what I saw.
Between those two scenarios.
And it was disgusting, man. And that just led the way for this conversation with us in the topic that there are still some real men out here. We want y'all to know that we real men up here.
Yes, sir.
You know, we not perfect.
But we real.
But we real. And this stuff that we seeing going on like that, and there's other things that we gonna talk about. You know, we gonna get deep into. It's just been a bad misrepresentation, a bad representation of us as men out here, and it's just got disgusting.
So, once again, guys, thank you guys for tuning in to this topic. Be sure you follow the show, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, man. Let's stick on that point, man, about this crate challenge thing that's kind of took over, for whatever reason, took over the whole nation. So, to my honest, because I think my son had told me about it, you know, and then I looked at it and I was like, okay. So, they get crates and they stack them up, right, till you get to the top. Now, I don't think, this is just me watching it, I don't think that the objective is for anybody to make it down. I think they want people to fall. Is that what it is?
Man,
I think they know, based on the way the design is, it's only certain people that gonna be able to make it down. Remember we said, fam, it should be a weight and age limit on that?
Definitely.
No, I'm just keeping it real, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Weight and age.
Yeah, and a size feet. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. You know?
Yeah, but I've seen videos where people really hurt themselves.
Yeah.
And you're right. It's like everybody's gathered around with their phone. They're waiting for the chaos. Don't you actually, I think they pay them, right? They pay them if they actually make it down.
I guess some of them are making wages and they paying.
Well, I know most of them guys in the hood, they paying crackheads
to do it.
and dope addicts to do it.
Knowing they gonna
do it.
Oh, wow.
And knowing they ain't got no balance in the world. But some dope things do got a lot of balance though. Because they be leaning like a motherfucker.
So former athletes.
Yeah, they got.
No, that's crazy. I will agree though. I don't like seeing that part as far as the woman, you know, hurting themselves and stuff like that, because they're taking some hard falls, you know, with that.
But do you believe that we have become desensitized, you know, when it comes to hurting each other? And then I mean, just think about it. That's what we basically saying, Grant. Like we can really harm each other, and
we leading each other into harm's way.
Right.
Like we rather see that. When that lady, well, you absolutely correct, man. We have become desensitized, some of us, and it's for those who don't value life. It make me think, like, is it because y'all so doped up? You know what I mean? Is it because you so doped up? Is it because you so, you know, or too drunk? But then I can't even use that as an excuse because they doing it sober. It's like, it's cool, like you said, they like ain't no value. they fall. It's like we falling in love with death, and anything that come close to dying excites the people. You know what I'm saying? And we feed into it. It's like we see more men. Well, we supposed to be productive in our communities. We supposed to be the ones setting the way. We supposed to be the ones setting the example. We're feeding off into this mess. And when we feeding off into it, when we see the downfall from it, or the hurt, or the dismay, or the death from it, it's just like laugh at it or record it. Or you know what I mean? It's like it's no concern, man.
Yeah, the caring and went out the window. Let me tell you, like black folks, man, we so much on our individual shit that it's ridiculous. Like, is the love is lackluster, and then when a person who say they got love for you is really not the love that you looking for. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, any other race, man, I always tell them, like, Joe, they always sharing and always helping the person up. You know what I'm saying? When they down, we the only one laugh when we fall down. We don't want to laugh at each other, and we don't bring that brotherhood, you know what I'm saying, back to the circle. We just so much on I. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been set back with so many times, from relationships to financial or whatever. We've been set back so much that we just thinking for ourselves, when you can go further when you know what I'm saying, when you just really just, you know, put your thinking first and your people's first, man, and start caring about your brothers. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like that no more. You know, you gotta what they saying now? Make sure your back door is locked, because they saying, Joe, you might be chilling, but your back door unlocked. That means somebody who you know gonna come back there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Well,
you know, so
I'm gonna say this, like, I think it ain't just limited to our people. So it's important that we start paying attention and really read. It should happen this way when you in a disorganized, no rule type community. So all the behavior that we see and all the language that we hear, it should happen that way, right? Because we have no structure, we have no law. We've gotten away from, what do you believe in? What are your principles, right? See, if you had principles, right, Grind, you wouldn't laugh at a woman that's bleeding her head. If you had values, right, you wouldn't even think about running up into somebody. But so in order to have rules and value, it has to be enforced. So let's just think about America, for example. America was once uncivilized. Like, remember the Wild Wild West? You could shoot somebody and have a beer. But then somebody who felt that, man, if we ever gonna move forward as a nation, we're gonna have to get real men, right, and to establish law. And to enforce the law, right? That's why we reject law, because law is correction.
And that's why when most guys get locked up, they abide by law, but when they hit the world, they got a lot to go and move around and hide from.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because we don't. So until we establish some type of structure, and it starts with the men. So, you know, regardless of what everybody else going through, wherever we gonna fix, whatever we need to correct, it start with the men.
It definitely do. It definitely do. It definitely start with the men. And Turbo said something real important. He said that ain't the type of love that they search for, ain't the type of love you want. You know, the Bible speaks about how faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. You know, it's like, man, we got to come up and be accountable to a point where, you know, if you're doing something that's gonna bring you harm, a real friend gonna tell you need to stop what you're doing.
That's right.
And it may cut you. You know what I'm saying? Because your flesh want to do it, so it may cut you and bring a wound. But that's a friend.
Right.
But yeah, but a kiss is something that seems nice. But they'd rather have somebody to tell them, oh, go ahead, I feel you. I got you 100%. You will have a woman who out here selling her body, whether she call herself a prostitute or not. You know what I mean? She just getting with different type of dudes saying she got to make ends meet. I got to do what I got to do, make ends meet. And then you'll get another girl say, I feel you, girl. But she hopping from man to man to do this. And then I feel you got to get your money, you got to get this. Then as soon as she run into the wrong person, and that person end up killing her, or raping her, or strangling her or something. Now, what they did to my friend, no, that was never your friend, because if that was your friend, you would have warned her the possibility of running into somebody like this. The same thing with men. You know what I'm saying? We'll say the same thing about men, about how, you know, it could be the same scenario. I'm gonna keep it the same way. Matter of fact, you got some men who want to run around who still want to be gigolos, who got women taking care of them. And you got other dudes like, I feel you, man, do your thing. Not realizing that it's women out here just trying to give men A's on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Just like it was men doing the same thing. I remember like 20 years ago, what was that, East St. Louis, where dude went around. You remember that? He went around and gave all those people A's on purpose. But you know what I'm saying? But and I seen a program when there was a woman who did it about 15 years ago. She was talking about how she was going around giving men, and she was naming some places in Chicago that I'm very familiar with. You know what I'm saying? And you got dudes that entertain that instead of telling them, no, bro, man, you need to slow down, man. You know what I'm saying? Stop what you're doing. That ain't the way to go. But we encourage them in this mess, not realizing that that's not what a friend does. A friend will warn you, like, bro, slow down. Even Turbo, like, I'd be like, hey, bro, stop smoking. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't hate him, but that's my friend. You know what I'm saying?
But it's a little bit, everything what you're saying is correct. I'm not against what you said. But when you said, like, if we said that we was loyal, right? A lot of times we think loyal is just showing up, being there, right?
Having that beer.
You know, but the loyalty has never really been tested.
Nope. And we don't even know how much, like you saying, if a guy is one of his homies, he never been in that position or never had to be in that position. He to even warn you about it. We have to watch out and be warned about the people who we with. Like, is they elevating? You know what I'm saying? Before we even think about them trying to save us.
We learning it in the 9th inning. Mm-hmm. And expecting these shorties to get it in a hurry. Why we getting this message so late? Why this story? I know it always been here, but hear me out for a second. So you had said before, a lot of times people not gonna correct you because it's acceptable not to correct you. You understand what I'm saying? It's cool not to tell your buddy he's slipping. You can have a casual conversation with somebody else, and they can tell you some foul stuff, and you gonna mind your business.
That's like you in the wilderness, and both of y'all you in some quicksand, and I'm just watching you
Right.
You feel me? I'm just watching.
Right, and then, well, I ain't tell them to step over there, but you ain't tell them that it was there. You see it, you watching, you ain't tell me not to step there neither, and that's what I'm saying. But see, and we got to be careful. We can't use that, you know, we learned it late as an excuse, because even then, man, we know, even when we was doing stuff in our immature ways, we knew it was wrong.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is like we applying it now.
Right.
If we knew it then, we need to apply it sooner.
Yeah, we definitely. So the question is, why didn't we apply it sooner?
Why didn't we apply it sooner? Why? It's because, see, a lot of times, if you're a young person, he wondering why you didn't do it sooner. Remember,
why you go through it to be able to tell me?
Because now he want to take that ride like you did, because the law has to be set from the beginning.
I'm gonna tell you something too,
you
right?
get what I'm saying?
Sometimes we have to think too, like, we got a lot of people in our family and friends and stuff like that. But if you just not getting it, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it wasn't out there to get for you. You know what I'm saying?
But that go against what Brian said.
So you think about it like you might be the first, you know what I'm saying, person in college to go. You know what I'm saying? The first person in your family to go to college.
I believe the information has always been there.
It's always been there. What I'm saying is to receive it. Like,
you the one to change it. What he's saying is your destiny to be the change. Not saying that it wasn't there, but he's just saying, like, maybe it's meant for you.
Right.
And that could be true. It could be meant for you. Mm-hmm. But the problem is and this is what we're addressing today. The problem is the reason why, even though it's meant to be, we got to believe that anyway. I believe everything is within God's plan. But it's still said, regardless, that the fact of the matter is, the reason why many are not doing it, or why it takes so late for us to start exercising it, is because there have been a lack of men.
That's what I'm getting at.
Real men who've been out here to address it, to hold us, to tell us, to teach us accountability.
Because what we got basically is arrested development. your development has been put on a standstill. Because if we look at some of our earlier scholars from Fred Hampton was 21, Martin was in his 20s. If we go back, some of the great men that we celebrate had already entered that, and they matter of fact, let's not even just go off of them. Some of the earlier people took up their houses with their wives and different things in their 20s.
Yeah.
Nowadays, 35 is the new 19.
And
you'll be talking to a 35-year-old like he a 19-year-old.
And that's what I tell you, right? Like when you're going like MLK and Malcolm X and people like that, right? Like I just tell you, like the real niggas died because the coward niggas shooting. You know what I'm saying? So when we see real niggas, you know what I'm saying? When I told you, B, if you don't like try to help your brother up at a point in his life where you can, it's your brother, where you can.
Where you got to influence.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't look at a person, you know what I'm saying, like, oh, he's like me. But if he know that you can and you willing to, so I think it's your duty. You know what I'm saying? Just like it's our duty to talk to these youngins. If we know better, we do better. You know what I'm saying? It's us to try to warn them. You know what I'm saying? The destruction that's leading ahead. The advice with relationships. You know what I'm saying? If you got it. I ain't saying if you still, you know what I'm saying, still living in the garage and shit, your girl got you somewhere, you know what I'm saying, beneath the sink or something. I ain't saying try to get them in a relationship about that. I'm just saying like we have to talk to our brother and be willing to do that. You know,
but I also think like when you were saying, when real niggas die, these young people get to shooting. I think like in that era, the reason why it was more impactful because they were kind of forced to work together in that society. Because we weren't able to move out to the suburbs and move around like we would in the 60s and 70s. The Fair Housing Act really didn't get implemented until maybe sometime in the 80s. So what I'm saying is the people that do better and know better, they tend to move away to get away from the madness. Now
that's the ignoring.
Right, but I'm just saying, but it sometimes it does, you can't understand the science because you feel like you worked hard and you want to improve your family, right? But at the same time, when those people are leaving,
that was the worst
they're
thing
also
we did.
leaving.
They start leaving out.
Start leaving your own community.
You know what? And I can agree with that. Instead of us taking like that vigilante role.
We didn't know that. They didn't know the impact of them leaving.
And what I mean by that, not saying going out here, but it's kind of like policing your own community.
Right.
Where we take the initiative to say, man, we ain't finna run. And we gonna get together. Y'all ain't finna do this over here.
We should have stayed and rebuilt. We should have got the knowledge and rebuilt our own community.
And be willing to go to war.
We should have never left our community.
But because we left that and wasn't willing to go to war and die for that, now we in a whole nother war. It's like the war, the war intensified. Because now our own have become our oppressors.
And we want to outrun them, but we can't. You ever notice that? Because we really trying to outrun the ones we left behind.
Listen, we really, listen, when we left, let me tell you something. When we all picked up and left, when we had a little money, left our community and went to the suburbs, we really had the thinking we was distasteful with our own, because you got to be distasteful to move around with white folks and not your own, right? So you got to be distasteful of your own. And second, Joe, you was so far gone from thinking of a black man, you was close to Uncle Tom thinking.
But not the
tell
real.
You why.
Let's say this.
Let me tell you why. Because when you did, and listen, we was young, because I was like 17, 18 years old, you was saying, you know what I'm saying? We was young, but it was like, well, he said we wanted to give our kids better, trying to give our kids a better education, a better life, because of what I'm doing to the community. You know what I'm saying? We was doing it to the community, but we leaving our own community to come back and fuck it up, then go sleep in white folks' neighborhood. Think about how that thinking that is.
Well, I'm gonna say this, but when you say Uncle Tom, we basing it off of what they say Uncle Tom was, because we always know that's a misconstrued myth.
Of course, but I'm going with the myth.
I know what you're saying, though. But But I want to address this, right? Okay, so I do feel you 100% on when you say we should have been in our communities, and I'm gonna clean this up though. There's nothing wrong with having a distaste for people that's acting like heathens and who embrace violence, who embrace, all like all this sexual immorality, this devious mess. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing wrong with having a distaste for that. But I do.
I was a part of that.
Right. Right. That's what I'm saying. And that's why I say, and like you say, about us being a part. That's why I was going next. But about us being a part of it, and I'm with you. We have a responsibility for those that we have a responsibility to build within to try to fix it instead of running from it when you partook.
Right. When I'm seeing white little kids, I can't give them. You know what I'm saying? When I can give to my own.
Because maybe that can help change the next person from coming up like me. So I understand that 100%. And that is the problem, because that's the reason we don't have real men who willing to put their life on the line. And when I say, I ain't gonna say we don't have this, we missing a lot of them. It's still some out here, and we stand a test that we those people. You some of those people. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that ain't none of y'all, and don't nobody else get mad. No other podcast like we ain't saying y'all men or whatever. We just saying we real men out here. But it's a lot of people who are afraid to stand up and take that stance in their community. So I agree with that 100%. When it's our obligation to show them another way so that they don't have to go through what we went through, to educate them on not just on the consequences, not just glorifying this mess. And that's the problem. We got too many of our men that's out here glorifying this mess. And going back to what Scholar said, you right. It ain't just about black people, you know what I'm saying? But we play a big part in it because we lead. You know what I'm saying? We lead the way. They copy everything that we do. The scepter has never departed out of the hand of Judah. They still follow after everything that we do. And by us knowing that they follow what we do, and you look at all the other demographics, you look at all the other races, they mimic us. They mimic our style, whether it's clothes, music, or whatever. By us knowing that we have this influence, why is it that we continue, as black people, we continue to push forth this propaganda of just, violence, sex, greed, death, ignorance? You got all this stuff going on. You got this crate challenge going on. It's blowing up, and we the first one partaking of it. You know what I'm saying? Or the majority partaking of it. You got this homosexuality and lesbianism and all this stuff, and we the first ones that act like, we all, you can love who you want to love. Yeah, but not in that manner. Not according to my God, you can't. You know what I mean? Now, and I have the right to speak against it. Now, whether you want to do it or not, that's up to you. I'm cool with that. But that's the problem, because we have no real man that's teaching young men how to be men.
Grant, let me
young men how to be. Hold on, let me finish. Yeah. How to build families. Young men, productive families. Because a man could not build a family. A man could not build a family. I don't care what you see Lil Nas X doing. Ain't no man getting pregnant. That ain't happening.
He due in June.
Next
you
year,
know what I'm
2022.
saying? Like, be real. We cannot produce life. We cannot produce life like that. And that's all I'm saying is you got your way to live how you want to live, but that is not producing life. And you need real men to show the difference and to teach the difference. Now, if some go the other route, hey, so be it. Still love you. I don't have to agree with you. But to say that everybody should agree with stuff like that, and everybody should agree with having fun and busting your head off crates, everyone should agree with homosexuality, everyone should agree with lesbianism, but it's wrong for us to agree that there should be some real men to teach real values to our youth, to teach them the things that have hindered us in the past. That's crazy for you to be against that and to not even partaking.
Let me say this though, Grant, and I'm not against that. I just think the complexity begins like, we know that because that's what we said, we was aware of these things. We have been for some time, right? But what do we do? How do we move forward, right? And I think part of the reason what's stopping us from moving forward is because we're missing the most crucial thing. I think it's important that like if you was gonna buy a car, you would go look at different cars, wouldn't you? If you was gonna buy a home, you would go look at different homes and see what the difference is between these homes and the builders and stuff like that. So when we talk about the black community, the one thing the black community has not really did is we have not looked at ourselves, right? We looked at ourselves as far as comparisons, like they have this, but we have not looked at ourselves in the sense, what are these communities doing that allow them not to have these issues or to have a limit on these issues?
Or not to exploit it.
Or not to exploit these issues. So none of us is going to escape the line as far as with the vibe, but we can limit some of the blowback. So part of it is, before you can get a man, you have to have a community. The community has to say, these are the standards that we're going to allow in this community, right? And so what has happened, when we did start making those strides, right, the people that, see, we're better off dysfunctional because everyone eats off of us. We can't be mad at them because they eat off of you. Like when they ended slavery, right? I think it was Abe Lincoln, whoever they was talking to, they was like, man, let's send the slaves back, or to send them, it was either, they wanted to send them to Haiti or Liberia, right? Let's send the slaves back. And somebody said, man, why send them back? They don't own no shoes or no clothes or nothing like that. They could work and buy from us. They could build the economy because they don't own nothing. We could eat off of them not owning anything. So what's different now? Why would they want you? If you kill, you feel the jail. If you die, you feel the morgue. If you steal, you buy the clothes. If you drink, you buy the alcohol. This is a perfect machine here. Everything that you do supports other communities.
Well, that's not yours.
That's not yours. That's your dysfunction. You don't want to raise your kids? We'll put them in the system and study it.
Welfare too.
You don't want to, believe on man? We'll let you be the poster child for this movement that we want to move, right? Right? Because ain't no rules here, right? There is no law. And so when you do start trying to get law, then you have infighting. It's the young people. It's the old people. It's the fat people. It's the skinny people. No, man, it ain't none of all that. This one big gumbo, and part of it is the division, the community. So if we went back, how do we build the community? We have to first recognize what is a community. Now, I'm going to give it to you in 60 seconds. And here go the infiltration. If we tried to build a community right now in some of these urban cities, guess who we're going to be under attack from? The immigrants, right? And then as soon as we start trying to exclude them, then we're going to be charged with discrimination. Because it's important that we don't ever come together with our brother. You got the flow.
Wow, how do you come back after that? Once again, ladies and gentlemen, of course, this is a topic that can hit some hearts. Hope you guys are receiving what's being said here. A lot of good verbiage and words that actually I learned just by listening to. This is why these are the thinkers, man. We're part of the minority, not the majority. We think a different way when it's very useful to the community. Which brings me to another something that I saw, and I'm sure you guys saw as well. Be sure you guys chime and give us your thoughts on what we're talking about. There's a new fashion statement going on called the Daniel rope tie thing, where the guys having, like, instead of actual ties, it's like a rope, like a noose, right? Pictures kind of floating over, the internet the last couple of weeks or whatever. But when I saw it, actually the thinkers that brought it to my attention, and I was like, wow, this is actually a thing. And I read more about it. And the guys that made the rope they're making it sound like, well, this is what they're saying. Why can't the image of a rope be looked at as a positive instead of a negative? Right. This is what they're selling to the people to consume, the people that's buying it.
Which one you bought? What color?
And it was a lot of different colors. So I want to ask you guys, man. Of course, I kind of know how you feel, but the people want to know how you feel. What do you think about, are you buying or selling the idea of that being a fashion statement? And do you think it's going to trend?
To me, it's not going to trend at all. It's going to trend to the ones that are careless.
Okay.
What I mean by careless is the ones that say certain behavior, certain things won't affect us when they will affect us. Now, what I would say is we the only community that'll try to twist something around and try to make like it was okay. And that's a sign to the damage that we keep promoting over and over and over, right? So, you know, the word nigga. Oh man, nigga ain't bad. You know, nigga. We done came up with a whole acronym for niggas. You know what I mean? You know,
I ride with Pac with that one though. I ain't gonna even lie.
What's that?
I ride with Pac on that one. You know,
I mean, and that's fine. What you
never ignorant getting goes.
I mean, that's fine. But what I'm saying is, you can ride with. But all it takes is just one. You found one person to make you believe in something that millions were mistreated. All it takes is one.
Yeah.
So
I have no problem with that.
But see, you just proved the formula.
I have no problem.
No, but I'm just saying, I ain't against you. Prove the formula. Pac is his justification for believing it. Mm-hmm. Not the words come out your mouth. You say Pac. I believe it because Pac said, not because I believe it. Pac made me believe it. So just look at the formula. I'm just saying, but the formula is entertainment. Get to entertainer to say that gay is good. Okay, it's cool. He said it's cool. That's why I'm doing it, right? Get somebody else that you trust, that you believe in, right? To believe it, and you will buy anything.
Yeah, it's been happening.
And so this is
that's with everybody.
Right? That's what
That's with everyone.
No, listen. That's
with everyone.
No, listen.
With something. Someone gets off somebody else.
Let me finish my statement.
Either they're thinking or hurt or whatever.
No, I'm saying that's where our community, not everybody.
No, I think everyone.
No, listen. Let me finish my case. Say something about the Jewish community that go against their law. Now go.
First of all, we're talking about
No, we said everybody, meaning different people. I said it's just our community. See, when we'll make it, because we stuck in these four walls in our community, we say that that's the world, right? Go against these groups that stand on the, listen, you say something about the Asian community or this community, they're going to have it corrected. They're going to have it pulled down. They don't care if you like it because of the principle. But with us, we find reasons and logic to justify the dysfunction. It ain't nothing else we could come up with. Where we running fresh out of ideas that we had to come up with a noose. You know, and then we're going to come up with some booty spray. You know what I mean? Oh, man, it's just some cologne, man, to make you feel like if you know.
Erykah Badu got it already.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's selling. But let me tell you something. Listen, the new shit is going too far. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, Joe, if you come up with something that was a negative for you and turn into a positive, it ain't got to be nigga. It can be anything that even happened to you. And negative. Turn that into a positive and generate some income. That's more power to you.
Negative can't be positive.
A negative always can turn into a positive.
Negative can't be positive.
Let me just say that because y'all going back and forth over that. That's stem from positive. Because people don't realize nigga was first in the Bible, they was prophets and teachers. And they turned it into something else. And that's how it was pronounced when you do the research. You know what I mean? They turned
You mean it was pronounced what? Negra.
No, nigger.
Niger.
Niger.
Depending on wherever part of the world you are, is the enunciation.
The enunciation. But listen, when you do your research and you find out that the J back then, when it was initially J, was the I was the J sign. So nigger, it was pronounced nigger. They took that and they looked at us like, that's why you get the word uppity nigger. Because they looked at us like they knew who we were. They knew who we were. They knew we was prophets. They knew we was teachers. They knew who we were. And they took that word and made it to mean something bad for us. And it did get turned around to something. But it stemmed from that angst that he got. Did he say, I embrace that? I understand it because it come from a place of positivity that we allow others to change it. And that's what we do with a lot of things. But I don't want to get off it. We have to do a whole segment on that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we dealing right now to deal with this noose thing. Sadly to say, if it was night, it's an ugly tie. It's ugly, first of all.
Yeah.
If it wasn't ugly, it'll rock. They'll be rocking it. If they find a way to spruce it up, they'll rock it. Want me to tell you why? Because the majority of people want what's made to be what was created as a bad image. They want that image to be good now. Everything that was bad, people really want to be good to justify the bad that they do or that they indulge.
Well, that's what they call exploitation.
It's just like you get, okay, I'm not even gonna go into the male getting on stage being naked, saying he'll perform naked. I'm gonna get in that. Let's talk about the women, right? We think it ain't cool for these artists, women, to get up here half naked, pumping on stage in front of our kids on national TV. But we'll think it's cool because we adults, and some might like to see that, but not realizing they pumping this to your children. So they've taken that image like it's cool because it's just entertainment. So they done took this bad image and made it seem like it's positive. So the majority will agree with that. Ain't nothing wrong.
Well,
with that.
you answered my question then, and I'm finna unpack that real quick. You said, and basically, I want to make sure I get it right. You said we'll see these images and we know that they wrong. Is this what we saying?
Yeah, but
right?
They will accept it.
But we will accept it, right? And we could also agree, and I'm not gonna beat the horse, that we'll take some negative words and turn them into positive, right? This is the way we think, because we're not forward thinkers, nation builders. We're not thinking about the people that come from behind us or who coming after. We're just thinking about right now. What's here right now? What work right now? We're not thinking about the things that we do, how it affect the people behind us. That's why I say if we dig into the text, right? Some of your behavior was never corrected, and it got passed on down, down, down. So as soon as you accept that, and that mess became acceptable, now it's low. As soon as you said you let that go and let them say that went on and on, now it's the word of the day. As soon as he wear that tie and he run around, that's why people be talking about, oh man, he got his ass out. Shit, y'all already signed off on it.
Yeah.
It's legal. You know what I'm saying?
They good at that. That's what they do.
You know, see, but what I'm saying, when you have law, when you have structure, let this go on thousands of years. As for me and my house, we don't care what they do. Y'all do that in your own time, but over here you can't do it over here.
So we know there would never be structure.
No, that's not true. We may not see it in our lifetime, but I ain't gonna never say it.
Well, no.
Right,
you see it in your lifetime, you be a structure within. You know what I'm saying? And in your community, in your family. First in your family, because your home is your first ministry, in your family. Then in your community. You know what I'm saying? Your home, then your community. It's up to you to create that structure that you don't see or what you see later.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's up to you. It's up to the individual.
And live by those laws.
And live by those laws and those morals. You know what I'm saying? And then afterwards, but the thing is, the majority of people want to be free from it.
Yeah.
That's why I say the majority of people don't want to be governed by anything.
Yeah.
Because we have a herd mentality.
In this free world.
Yeah.
But we have a herd mentality. What I'm saying is,
but it's only free until they run into their problem.
Yeah.
Then they want to cry at the
because gangster is the standard now. We reject
knowledge. That's a false sense. That ain't even gangster.
I'm just saying.
Well, maybe that's what's defined.
That's the word that I'm using.
Because you look now, you see him like it's not the same.
If you see a young boy that's really smart, or educated, or trying to improve himself, we gonna ostracize him or shut him down or try to, stop him from developing his level of understanding to advance. Even if you didn't know nothing about it, people out here that don't know nothing, what are we doing to support the one that do got the ability?
The ones that's being productive. But you got men out here that's training their kids up in that manner. They rather their kids be thugs.
Or athletes. Or rappers.
But they rather them be, most of them
not just men. The mothers want them to be a thug too.
And that's right. So
that's the image. That's our image of manhood.
We're not taking no response. Exactly.
That's the image. That's the image.
That's the problem.
Think about it. You said before, like if we want to make sure we follow the rule, how do we identify a male? Gangster. And what you say about the Drake album, Brian? What's the first thing you say?
I said people don't like it because they want them to be a gangster. They want them to be a gangster.
I actually like the album.
See what I'm saying? That explains it right there.
Let me tell you something too, right? A lot of us, man,
Right.
we so condoning people with these victim stories, man. Everybody want to play the victim. And if you really sit back and you watch stuff, man, a lot of stuff comes from that. A lot, like everyday life. Some of this stuff is in us that we gotta, you know what I'm saying, let that shit drain out because it's a genetic thing. You know what I'm saying? But we see it on most of the people who done gave up. We see it on most of the people who walking around here like, you know what I'm saying, they ain't got a care in the world, but we always playing victim out of this to anything. It's like, oh, it's always our back against the wall.
So give me another example, because we were talking about what he really trying to say is like, some people was using tragedy
as triumph
to justify they fucked up situation.
Right.
For example, man, my grandmama died. That's unfortunate. What they got to do with you begging? What they got to do with you begging? So we'll put ourselves in this vegetated state, meaning, hug me, cry for me.
We want somebody to feel sorry for us.
Tell me everything gonna be all right. And then we'll start throwing it on stuff. Man, my little homie got killed last night. Joe, when last time you talked to him? I ain't talked to him about 2 years. But he done made this into a whole conversation on somebody he ain't talked to in 2 years. You get what I'm saying? So that opens the victim mentality, right? Now, me and you done lost 2-3 hours listening to this
playing
victim.
counselor to this guy who want to play victim because his life going on, but when he see someone who's really into his own life and doing a little bit better, he want to play the victim role just for you won't feel sorry for him in a way where you making fun of him, but you'll feel sorry for him.
And
you might want to help him.
A victim can turn into a hater.
They always.
They
always
think about it. Like some victims are depressed.
Say that's the reason why they
borderline alcohol.
Because victim correlate with
hate.
Victim correlate with motherfucking people who misery. You know what I'm saying? And we know what misery like company. So he don't want to see you with nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because he have nothing.
Because men, in a sense, the definition of a man, if you didn't know what a man is, your role, you're a problem solver. You were designed to move obstacles out of the way. You cannot be a man if you don't move obstacles out of the way.
You can't have a paper cut and go to your
saying,
mama
if
mom
you
got
got
a paper
children,
cut.
you move obstacles out their way. If you have a woman or a female friend, you move obstacles out their way. But you are designed to move obstacles out the way, problem solve. So if we come to another man and we can't have a conversation about coming to a solution, then we not having man talk.
And that's basically the biggest problem is we ain't got enough men out here trying to get solutions. They more adding to the problem. We got more men adding to the sorrow. Like we say, we see with this crate challenge mess.
Yeah.
We see with all this pushing homosexuality on our kids. What we see with all this violence, everybody teaching their kids it's okay to listen to music that's talking about guns and killings, and you got 9-year-old kids listening to this, 10-year-old kids, 11-year-old kids. They shouldn't be listening to this. We got more men that's feeding into the problem rather than feeding into the solution and trying to show them another way and a better way, which is the part of building your community and being productive in your community. And that's why we talking about what we talk about today, because that's what's lacking. You know what I mean? And we got to just make, anybody out here who watching this and listening to this right now, any man, you got to take it upon yourself, man, to say that, I'm going to be a part of the solution and not the problem.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And stop ignoring the bullshit.
Exactly. You have some accountability for what's going on. If something is wrong, it's wrong. If you did wrong, okay, none of us perfect. I'm not saying I'm perfect and I do everything right, but I take accountability for when I'm wrong, and I'm not finna encourage somebody else into doing something wrong, especially if I'm knowledgeable of that. You know what I mean? And that's the problem. That's what we got to be as men. We got to get to a point where we are accountable for what we do, and we will teach our youth that's coming up under us accountability, not even our youth, our peers who have not been, who still wrapped up in it. We gotta let them know, man, you gotta stop this, man. You know what I'm saying? Stop crying when they hit your doorstep, talking about I don't understand this or why this happened. Man, look how you living. You know what I mean? Change your attitude, your mindset. Get some values and some morals about yourself. Stop hating on people and stop wishing death and misery on people, man. This stuff gotta stop, because if not, we're gonna continue to be them people sitting back with our phone, watching our people die, watching them do dumb stuff, entertaining them and cheering them on to do something stupid. And when they fall and hurt themselves or die, we just sit back and laugh instead of encouraging them beforehand to come up higher than that.
Yeah, so once again, guys, before we switch gears, like I said, these is one of those shows that we kind of try to hit home with people about what's going on in our world, not just our community, not just our society, but the whole world, what we can do to kind of change the narrative, right? And before we switch gears, I just want to say about the whole tie with the noose thing. I believe, I to somewhat agree that negatives always have a chance to be turned into positives, right? Especially if it's for profit. If you're trying to gain some type of, profit for your family, et cetera, like that. In my mind, from knowing what I know about our oppressors, about slavery, about things like that, I cannot wrap my mind around that being turned into a positive. You see what I'm saying? That our people was literally hung around our neck with a noose. Bro. So how can I turn that into a positive and say, oh, well, I'm going to hang around my neck a tie that looks like a noose? You know what I'm saying? Right. So I just encourage people, if you want to buy it, that's not my business. I'm just saying, think outside the box when it comes to that, man, because it's deeper than just a fashion statement. Grind says it's not even a nice tie. I don't even look. But just think deeper about the meaning of it. Like how you look a black man walking down the street and you see a white man and you got a noose around your neck as a tie. If that don't make you feel a certain way as a man, then you need to really question your manhood to a certain extent.
What if he pull it?
You should tighten it up.
Yeah, what if he pull it?
Yeah, let me just add something else to that I'll be real quick.
That's 100, Red. That's 100.
I also believe negatives could be turned into positive in this sense. Have a museum. You want to have all the negative stuff, put it in a room on the wall where the context can be explained appropriately. See, when we put stuff out there without context and people run wild with it, other communities have museums. You got the Holocaust Museum, this museum, put that in the museum. I was having a conversation with one young Arab guy, I don't want to use his nationality, but he was talking about when they was taking down them monuments. Remember they was taking down all them statues?
Yeah.
And they was like, man, you getting rid of our heritage. It was positive to them, right? But it was negative to us. I said, no, we don't have to get rid of that. Put it in a museum. You can put it in a museum and you can come visit it every year for profit. You can pay to get you a ticket in there. I said, but far as it being on display where it can be misinterpreted the wrong way, we ain't going with that because we already got enough bad press.
That's true.
We ain't going with that. We don't need no more bad press out here.
Yeah, but they were standing in front of that thing. I think that stuff needs to go, period. We cannot live back in the 1800s.
Well, but they can put it in a museum if that's something. We all, everybody got different tribes, right? I'm not here to police their tribe. Just put it over there.
Yeah.
But
we always just had to be the victim role in all the tribulation. Shit.
So by the
we
time
ain't never got a soldier on a horse like this. You know what I'm saying?
we got one with a tie.
Damn. Let's switch gears, man, because grind, it's about that time, bro.
Man, it's time for shout out to the plug.
Shout out to the plug.
Shout out to the plug, man. God made this possible. Today, man, going forward, I'm gonna change a few things in the segment. It's gonna be positive. Not so down, but right now, man, I just want to have a moment of silence. You know what I'm saying? I want to have a moment of silence for, yesterday was a wild day in the community I grew up in, Maywood, Illinois. It was wild, man. I mean, early throughout the day, man, shooting, stabbing, it was crazy. Also, not just that, the young lady that fell on the crate. It was another incident on the crates where they came back and they shot up the young men on the crates and they said somebody died on the way to the hospital. So I just want to have a moment of silence for anybody who was hurt, with the foolery that's been going on recently, whether it been a crate challenge, whether it been the violence, because especially here in Chicago,
Or the storm in
the
Louisiana.
storm in Louisiana, I was going there next. Yeah, definitely. You had Hurricane Ida.
Sure, yeah, Hurricane Ida.
Hurricane Ida tore up Louisiana. All those people, man, we praying for those people. That's why we need more men, because there's a lot of people that's in need right now. And, man, we got to step up, man. We got to step up and be accountable to help and to be a help and not a hindrance. So we just want to have a moment of silence for all the people lost their life in this past month. God bless you.
God bless.
Bless.
Okay, so, all right, guys, before we sign off, everybody that's new to the show, of course, if you're not new to the show, you already know what we're about to do. But to the new subscribers, new people that tune in, this is called What's in That Bag edition. And what we do here, we talk about something that's kind of controversial. We get your email. So if you're new to the show, send an email directly to any one of us or to the show about what you're going on through your life that you want us to think is to help you with, right? So I'm going to ask the guys their opinion on the letter that you wrote for this week. They're going to give you their opinion. I'll finish off with mine. Hopefully you get something from it. But if not, keep writing, all right? You guys ready?
Ready to
All right,
rumble.
let's get it. I read this one. I read this one earlier, and it was, just be prepared, okay? All right, it says, hey, y'all, I'm not going to say my government name, so just call me Waukesha. No, but for real, though, I watched a couple shows, and y'all be talking that good stuff straight up, so keep working. Salute. I'm going to tell you my little situation, but don't judge me, especially Moolah Monster and Holy Grind. So I deal with this guy that's married, and yes, he told me he was married, and I still decided to mess with him. No, I'm not trying to take him from his wife. No, I'm not messing with him because he gives me money. I deal with him simply because I like hanging with him, and he's a cool guy. Anyway, I recently went to Atlanta for business, and he surprised me by coming down there and taking me on a shopping spree. Random things like this is another reason why I deal with him, because he's thoughtful. I am happy with my situation, and at this point in my life, I done been through a lot of bull with guys, like most women have, but I like to be in a situation where I know what I'm coming into because the guy was honest, which most guys aren't. I know a lot of people probably bash me, but those same people have done or maybe doing a lot worse in their life. And truth be told, men mess with married women all the time. Check the stats on that, Reggie, Mr. Statistic Guy. Very funny. I know there's a mixture of married and single men on the panel. So since y'all think outside the box, very good. My question is, what's your views on dealing with someone that's married, both men and women? Love the show. Peace. Okay, so look, we're going to try to get into this real quick where we have enough time. I definitely have some stuff to say about it, but we got to ask the thinkers first. Now, what do you guys think on dealing with someone that's married, man or woman?
I think I'm going to salute. I'm going to go first, right?
Yeah, you can go. I don't really have much in that bag.
Yeah. I'm going to salute.
Waukesha.
No, Waukesha, married guy. Way to stand up and be honest with these women.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to stand and know for that. You know what I'm saying? But and I'm gonna tell you something. Most of the times, females probably ain't gonna like this, but as they get older, they starting to settle for whatever's just good at that moment.
We don't know if she older though.
But I bet you she over 35.
Let's just get the elephant in the room. Morally, we know it's not right.
Listen,
Right.
Listen. They get to settling a little bit afterwards. You know what I'm saying? And it really, like she said, she's been through a lot of bad stuff. So sometimes she need a streak of good shit.
Okay.
Just to get her soul right. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. When you've been trash for 10 years, been with trash for 10 years, you starting to look like, you know what I'm saying, garbage. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, I think it was cool. She in her lane right now, but she ain't looking for no Heisman Trophy award. She says she's just doing it for right now. She like her at the moment, you know what I'm saying? But that's just coming from a single man. You don't hear some different
Oh,
shit.
Well, I ain't got no. I mean, it ain't. I mean, the answer is pretty mathematics. You know, most people gonna say don't do it. That's the easy answer. Or you shouldn't be in it. I look at it that it's real, so I recognize that this is a real situation, right? I also recognize that. Only thing I can say behind her, know what the expected outcome is gonna be, right? Like, but I'm not finna get into the room because I think she already know that it ain't gonna get approved, right? But then where Moolah coming from, you know, emotionally, she wanna be connected to something, right? Now I'm just gonna end this with the Kevin Samuels quote, like, the top, it's only like, I think he said it was like 10% of high value men, right? That's a small pool.
Right.
And so they're gonna have a lot of options because they're such a small pool. And obviously she got chose. You know, I don't really have the answer. I would just say like, hopefully she don't get too wrapped up in that situation and it end or whatever else. But we done seen this story before, man. I'd say good luck.
Okay, Grind.
I'm gonna say this. I understand. I ain't gonna judge you. You know what I mean? I understand the reason why you give in to this man. First and foremost, because you was built to be subject to a man. You know, so you just doing what most women would do. You know, especially one that's treating you right.
Right.
You know what I mean? You was made to have that
Attraction.
that attraction and to give yourself to a man. You was created to be a helpmeet for a man. So of course you may give in, especially someone treating you right when you've been down the wrong path. However, what I want to tell you is that you deserve better. You know what I mean? You evidently you want to be in a relationship because you in one. It's just one where he was honest with you and he's keeping he's living a double life. Because and what you get, and let me say this, you got to stop being selfish too. Because yeah, he told you he married, but did he introduce you to his wife? Are you think about if you was his wife? How would you feel if your man was doing that? Now you may be cool now because you're not married to him, you ain't got to deal with it. But do you think his wife want to share him? I don't think she would have married him if she wanted to share him. So you can't be selfish in that instance either. And I just think you deserve better. You'd have bad relationships, but I believe if you really wait, I know for a fact, if you wait and you're a good woman, you will find the right man to find you.
How you know she deserved better?
I believe we all deserve better. That don't
No,
mean that
some
we
of
gotta
us
go
can be
through.
a piece of shit.
But hey, regardless of what you feel about her, regardless of she.
No, that's saying some of us can be that.
and
Listen, some of us can be, but that don't mean that we can't change. And it's my turn. Y'all said what we
No,
was
but-
at. You know what I'm saying? It's my turn. It's my turn. Regardless of how we feel or think about her or what she deserved, I'm going off of what she said and what she presented. I know she deserved better than that. You know what I mean? She deserved better than that. And what she needs to do is she needs to let him go. Man, he ain't committed to her. As good as it may seem, it can always. Matter of fact, you're limiting yourself because you think that's as great as it get. And I guarantee you, I know for a fact it's greater.
What, Grind,
I know for a fact
Grind, hold on.
I guarantee you, my wife would rather be my wife
Grind.
than to be.
Grind, let
my
me just say this though, real quick. The Grind comment. Grind is right? But the part that we missing right here is it ain't so much that she deserved better. It's like if she got to put herself in a complex situation,
You don't deserve better.
that mean that the men that's out here available ain't on nothing.
That she deserves
Or
better.
she ain't know nothing.
You know, so somewhere like
Hold on, man.
Wait,
Y'all
hold on,
turning what I'm saying off.
Wait, let me hear me out real quick, cause Brian had the flow, right? Mm-hmm. She do deserve better morally. Cause that's all it is. Like we morally, the grand scheme of things, but the reality, right? What is she dealing with? She got a huge surplus of men, and she got one man that's attached. So something is wrong on either end. If she got to go get through with this man, and of course she's not finna think about the wife, cause she already numb to the pain that she went through.
You don't know that. You putting stuff in her. We going on.
We could only assume.
You don't know that she's not gonna think. Maybe it has not been presented to her. That's why I said what I said. That's what you said. What you said. I said,
You know why I know she
I'm
said
giving
that?
her an
Because once
option
he
now.
said he was
I'm telling
honest
her
with her,
now.
he gave her that truth.
I'm telling her now, you got to think about this now. If you have not thought about this, well, she might have not have. I can't say she thought about it. Now this is presented. She's asking for help, which I commend her for, because a lot of people won't do that. They just keep doing what they're doing. But she's asking for an opinion, and I'm telling her right now, can't be selfish. You got to think. Maybe that may be the thing that might trigger her and say, I didn't think about it like that. See, that's why you judging her now. You judging her right now by
I'm gonna
saying,
tell you right.
well,
we
I'm
saying
not
her-
so wait, whatever you want to
hold on.
address it off my comment.
Hold on, say
address
listen.
it off
Hey,
your
listen.
comment.
Well, I'm not finna give you no wishing on the star. You ain't gonna be able to do none of that. What was suggested here, none of it. What I would suggest for you right now, and I didn't want to say nothing. Find a way to work on yourself. See, once you start trying to heal yourself and rehabilitate yourself, because you may be attracting the same type of men. He just happened to be married, but he still got the same behavior as the men that you had in your life. Don't go out here and imagining all this different type of stuff. Work on what type of men you want, what do you deserve, but you're going to have to take some time to separate yourself from any relationship. Now go.
I think
ahead.
some of us need. Listen, you can either get it from either way. You might find something, and what Grind said, you know what I'm saying, to make you feel like you want to go find you a good man and leave that man alone, or you probably ain't been getting it like this man told you, like, Joe, you a piece of shit. Stop looking for the wrong nigga. You toxic. You know what I'm saying? So
didn't say
either
you a
way,
piece of shit.
you can feel it. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't say she
but
was negative.
Waukesha, since she didn't want to give your name, I know, you know what I'm saying, you going through this, so, you know, more power to you, you know, but Red's
got it.
Red's got something to say to you that's you're gonna love this.
Right. Well, we interested.
Wow. Okay, so Waukesha, that's a song, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I heard that.
Is it?
That's some drink.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so you heard the thing it said. I'll say this. You asked the question, what do you think about people that mess with people that's in a marriage, right? Both men and women. And yes, I do know the statistics of men. Most men mess with married women more than women mess with married men. Okay, you got me there. Okay, I agree.
I didn't
You
know that.
have to be
Look how you
careful.
laughing.
This is why you need to be careful, right? Because I'll give you another stat. When a married man, catches his wife cheating, he's more likely to kill the person that he's cheating with.
Oh, that may be
You
a
know what I'm
fact. He ain't taking. He ain't
So
gonna
you
understand
have to
that.
be careful, because even though the guy's taking you on shopping sprees, he's being honest with you, y'all kick it, y'all have fun. What happens if his wife finds out about you and she comes and kills you, or kills somebody that you like? It can go bad real fast. Not saying that we're judging you. If you happy, be happy. Be in your glow. You have to be careful, because marriages is different than relationships, right? That's a different level.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with what Grind said. I mean, I will say that I feel like everybody's been through something, but I think you deserve more. You don't deserve to be content. There's one thing to be happy, but you don't deserve to be content with a married man that's somebody else's, and you just reaping the benefits of shopping sprees and quality time and good morning texts and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of men in this world. Be careful, but I definitely would say I don't think that the long game, as far as longevity, is there with this
100.
situation. Any final thoughts for Waukesha before we sign off?
No, I know it's 3.8 billion women out here though.
Oh, it's a lot.
As far as the stats people, you know what I'm saying?
It's tricky though. You have to be careful, because
I just say work
You
on
gotta
your
believe it's something else.
work on yourself. You should work on self before you start entering into any relationship, because obviously she's having a problem with relationship.
Yeah.
This just happened to be a very judgmental relationship.
Yeah.
But that's another reason why we said think about her. That is working on herself. When y'all interject, that's working on herself by not being selfish. That's what I say. You can't be selfish. It's not being selfish. It's working on yourself. You know what I'm saying? That is working on yourself. You got to look at your mind. Say, what would make me go and even entertain this in
Piece of shit.
relationship?
But I get what
And then necessarily.
I understand what.
Like I said before, I know how a woman is created. that made to be subject onto a man. So we act like we ain't slick talkers and all that. You know what I mean?
I'm just
So,
saying
we
it
just
could,
need to-
and
that's
I'm gonna
what she
wrap
need
it up.
to
What
do.
I'm simply saying is, she may have self-esteem issues, right? That will not allow her to take these other things serious, right? So she have to figure out what is her inner challenges,
Yeah, I agree with that.
what does she want,
Y'all
what
didn't
does she
counsel
need.
her. You didn't counsel them.
I-
You
I-
ain't answer to what she said.
What-
You act like you didn't counsel her.
I mean, we
Well, if we keep giving them this reading rainbow, they're gonna keep giving us them calls.
who are we to tell a person
Right.
what to do if they happy? Okay,
Right.
be in your
Exactly.
glow, but just be careful. It's
Just be
basically what we're
careful.
trying to
Right.
say. So look, we're gonna get ready and sign off, man. We hope that you guys took something from what we said in this episode. There's a lot of great gems talked about here, man. About everything that's going on in our community and just in general. But one more time, man, Grind, tell them where they can find you at, bro.
Man, at Holy Grind on Instagram, man. At Holy Grind _520 on Facebook, and at TOTB the Dopest on Facebook.
You know it, Moolah.
Moolah Monster Collections on Instagram, moolahmonster.com.
There it is, Philosopher.
IG, Black Scholar.
There it is. I'm Reggie Moving Forward. You can find me at the Now Society on Instagram or Reggie Moving Forward on Facebook. We want you guys to go follow us because we have a great announcement that we're going to let you guys know pretty soon, man. A lot of great events coming up, man. So go follow us so you won't miss out, all right? Until next time, we are
Thinking outside the box.
See, things have come to head, time out for scare you, scary route today. And follow us down Courage Lane. They cages in, break down the gates. We want all the smoke, like we chiefin' on a pound a day. But not talking intoxicating rage, not this is far more tragic than was comprehended. This has got to stop. I don't understand everything as a man. I'm authorized by God to make this petition. Believe it, especially when you hate.